Welcome back to the Core of Success podcast. Today we're bringing you part 2 of Win with guest speaker Michael Sanciprian. Enjoy.
Welcome to the Core of Success podcast. Entrepreneurship, success, health, life, big things are in your future. And now your hosts, Sean and Mike.
Listen, guys, we promised you at the beginning this would be a masterclass. It is. There's leadership lessons, there's business, there's life. So I want to keep going. You know, we've gotten to know you a little bit through the years, Michael, and as when people find out that we know you and we tell people about you, one of the questions I get asked all the time about you when I tell them, our friend Michael, he owns the World Gyms in Taiwan, and they're like, he's a Taiwanese guy. I would say, no, he's an American guy. He's from California. Went over there. People always ask, that always surprises people when they hear that. 100%. So tell us a little bit about that. How did you make that transition from, you're doing your business in California and you're consulting. I know you had clubs here. Yeah. How did you get to Taiwan?
Yeah, so what happened was I had some clubs, and obviously California had some clubs in Nevada. I had somebody who was working for me, and I have a partner, John Caraccio. So we had a mutual connection. So necessarily I kind of got connected with John, right? And at that time, John had 2 clubs. Yeah. And we were talking, right? And I was in the process of...
he had 2 clubs in Taiwan.
Yeah, he already had 2 clubs, yeah. And I was in the process of selling my company in L.A. and the process of selling it. And I was kind of fascinated, I heard him. We kind of talked a couple of times. And, and my mindset always is, I never cared about money, right? Nothing wrong with money, but money is a tool for me. So monetary value didn't mean anything, but the physical values in life did. So looking at it, it's like people always thought about when you said Taiwan, right? Yeah. That sounds crazy.
Right.
So my mindset always was, I want to do stuff that people thought about, but they didn't have the balls to do it. To be direct.
Yeah.
So that was how my mindset was.
That's
so when I went out there, I went out the first time by myself. I went and kicked the tires. I went around. I went to the MRT station, high-speed rail, to look at some of the competition.
Right.
I was like, you know what? There's a lot of liveliness here, but the operations of fitness is completely screwed up. Completely backwards. The way they ran the business, how the business was, prepaid memberships, and all this stuff was completely backwards. Then I went out there a second time, and I met with John. We kind of talked a little bit, kicked some tires. And I was like, this is kind of interesting. And then I ended up selling, I got a transaction done, ended up selling my company in L.A. I said, I'm going to take a little time off. Well, that little time lasted 6.5 days. That was going out of my mind because money didn't mean nothing, right? The value of money, I respect it as a great tool, but I didn't gauge my life off that.
Yeah.
If I did, I would have believed in what my mom was doing, that life we had when I was a young man, and I would have just bought into those values, right? I didn't believe in money per se. I believe in just winning. My mindset was always win. If I won enough, we're always going to be okay. So I said, you know what? And true story, I had a green duffel bag. I hopped on the plane, took some cash with me, and I went out to Taiwan. Now, this was in 2007, mind me.
Wow.
Now, you didn't speak the language.
I didn't speak a word.
You didn't know anybody there but John.
No, I knew nobody, no language, no nothing. I saw one thing.
This story's insane,
I saw a vision, though, man. I saw a vision that no one else saw. And I truly believe, people always say, well, confidence is good, but you can't be cocky, or cocky, but you got to be confident. People say all this bullshit I don't even understand. At the end of the day, is only belief you have is in yourself.
Yeah.
You got to have so much conviction and belief in yourself so other people will follow, or otherwise nobody would believe me.
This almost goes back to when you first left, when you were VP, and you left to become the consultant.
Yes.
Right? Now you fast forward a few years.
Correct.
Now you're going to take what you've done here in the States.
Right.
Incredibly successful. You could have continued to do that.
Right.
And now you're going to take this whole thing to a whole nother world.
Yeah, because people can never.
I'm sure people said, "Are you crazy?"
Yeah, they
right?
did. My mom,
again, right?
My mom, everybody.
You're going where? Taiwan.
They go people are very educated people, very smart people. Yeah. They go Taiwan, like they work out there.
Right.
Everybody's skinny, or how about the food, or can you watch TV? So I realized people are so square-minded, right? I always took a lot of pride in being very well-rounded, right? The analogy I always use is, if I put yourself on a hill, if you put a square boulder or a round boulder, what's going to go down the hill faster? It was always a round boulder that could run through the walls, keep running, because you're well-rounded individually. Yeah. So the personal challenge I wanted to take was hey, am I that good? I'm extremely confident in myself. I sold my company. I made some money.
That's the ultimate, man.
people go, that should be the ultimate life.
Yeah.
So when I went out there, we didn't necessarily, obviously 08, 09 happened. The world's crashing. The whole world was dying.
That's true.
Crazy time.
And they're like, oh my God, no doubt. This is a true story. It's a famous story. It was me and John. We're sitting at TGI Fridays.
In Taiwan.
In Taiwan,
Right.
It was. True story. It was 12:01.
I think you took us to that very TGI.
You're exactly right. Yes. We're talking about it.
It's on the same table.
So it was midnight. And I remember the waitress coming over to us, and she's like,
stories.
hey guys, it's midnight. You got to get going soon. And then me and John are making a decision. John looked at me. He goes, what do we do? Now, Miami, the largest operator in Taiwan, shut down. There's a banking crisis. We lost our credit card machines.
Wow.
Alexander was the largest operator in the world in Taiwan at that time. She shut all her clubs down overnight. There was another company called Jiazi in Chinese, and they had 32 stores. They shut down overnight.
Holy
so
cow.
fitness was completely blackballed.
My gosh.
All of a sudden, all the credit card machines, they took them.
Wow.
And me and John was looking at me. He's like, well, what do we do? And Michael, do we just slowly shut down and try to sell some stuff? We had this club. We had 4 clubs.
Yeah.
What do we do? And we looked at each other, and I said, well, there's 2 things we could do. One, we could grab our passport. We could necessarily look to be exiting this country very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Or 2, we're going to buckle down. We're going to necessarily put all the chips on the table, and we're going to have to make some tough decisions to the company culture, pay, all this stuff. We have to make a constant effort that we're going to have so much conviction and belief that we're going to cut pay, we're going to make some tough decisions back then, and we're going to convince them they're going to make more money, and we're going to keep growing, and the toughest economy that we ever saw in our lifetime.
Wow.
I said, you know
That's
what?
a sales job.
Excuse my language. I said, fuck it, I'm in.
And what did he say?
He goes, let's go.
Wow. That's
amazing.
incredible.
And I think that's where we get a lot of respect with each other.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But that
'Cause
time
he could have went
could have
south
bailed.
at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could have bailed.
Of course.
Anybody, yeah.
I could have
That
went on
was
with my
my
life, and I had some
Sure.
money in the
dude.
bank.
You could
and
have
I was
easily
okay.
said, you know what, hey, it didn't work out. Let me go back to the States. And
Yes.
right.
And that's what people don't understand. People
That's
understand
an
is
amazing story, man.
we're starting growing this company at the toughest time in our lifetime, in my lifetime in the world as an entrepreneur and as a business owner.
Yeah.
And that's where necessarily you look at it and say, hey, listen, we got to take this business to another level. So when you're looking at people in their eyes, and this is the most proudest moment, I never laid off one person.
Wow.
We didn't lay off one employee.
Mm.
I had to convince them necessarily, hey, some of you guys got to take some cuts, but I promise you, you'll make 3 or 4 times more money within the next 5 years.
Wow.
Now, to be honest, they're making 10 times.
Crazy.
My managers,
Amazing.
GMs, regional managers, and the rest is history. But what people don't see, what people don't understand is people look at that as like, that's a tough time. That's hard to do. To me, I took it as a challenge.
Yeah.
Because a challenge always has an opportunity to have an outcome, win or lose.
Mm-hmm.
When you have a problem, you can't solve a problem. I could fix a challenge.
Yeah.
So I believe in our words and how we talk and how we speak to each other. We say, hey, we got a problem, Sean.
Yeah.
I won't talk to you.
It's a challenge.
It's a challenge.
Yes.
Yeah.
Love that. Just
So-
that mind shift
Correct.
right there, right? It's
Right,
huge.
my mind shift going to Taiwan.
shift,
Nobody
yeah.
could fast, and they couldn't get their head around
No.
it. Now they think, oh, Michael, you're a genius. Oh, my
Right.
God. You're
Yeah, you went there. It was untapped.
Yes.
So it's an amazing part of that story, and I don't think I had heard that part before, is that all of the majority, I should say, of all the clubs in Taiwan were shutting down overnight.
Yes.
And you guys stuck it out. You and John said, let's go. We're going to do this.
Right.
And I have to assume that as you almost, in some sense, became the last man standing, right?
Correct.
It gave you this opportunity, which you could have quit just like the rest of them did.
Right.
But you didn't. And I think that's a huge lesson too, Mike, is that when you have that conviction or belief in yourself, as you said, Michael, to be that one standing in the face of this adversity,
Right.
that's where amazing things can happen. That's
Also,
incredible.
too, the most important thing is your team.
Yeah.
Once they see that and believe that,
Mm.
You.
they will do anything.
Yeah.
My average manager has been with us for 13 years.
Wow.
Wow.
Our average manager from the core.
Yeah.
13 years. My
That's
average
unheard of in the fitness business
Correct.
for the most part,
But
right?
especially we push hard. We don't
Yeah,
play.
you do.
No. So 2009, this is 2009, right? 4 clubs.
Yeah.
Right? So tell us what happened from there. So we're 10 years later. You're at 92 clubs?
Yeah.
That is
Year end,
amazing
yes.
growth for single operators,
Right.
right? It's
Yeah,
incredible.
we're not franchised.
You're not a franchise, yeah.
So I had
that's
a
an important
mindset.
point.
Yeah, so every year we grew. Like, so all of a sudden we went 3 to 4 clubs, 5 to 8 clubs, 8 clubs, 10 clubs, 12 clubs.
Yeah.
This year we're hitting our most. We're doing annual with 23 by year end
Wow.
in 1 year. And because,
Okay.
everything we have to build, right?
Mm.
So what the key was, though, is the team has to believe that this is even possible.
100%.
It's impossible when people go, wow, the best idea in the world.
Yeah.
I got the greatest idea in the world. And guess what? It's a great idea to you, but not your team.
Yeah.
But that's where those habits come in, right?
Yeah.
During those tough times, we develop certain habits, our systems. As you guys, I'm a big system guy.
Yeah.
We could spend hours on systems.
That's the next.
But if you don't have a system that people could follow and believe in, sales, customer service, whatever you're into, whatever your business model is, if you don't have a system that people could believe and follow, it's short-lived.
Yeah.
You will die.
Yeah.
Or your best people will quit.
Yeah. So you had powerful systems, you had this belief in yourself and John, and you started to create this culture around there. And I know it's a huge part of any successful enterprise, but we got to experience yours firsthand this year when we went to your year-end party. So tell us a little bit about the culture of World Gym Taiwan. What's it about? What would somebody say? What's the culture there?
Winning.
Winning. In a word.
Yeah, it's winning. At the end of the day, the culture is winning.
Love it.
And with the strong conviction of giving back.
Mm.
Because here's what I learned at a young age too is the more you win, the more you could give. So if I could teach the teams is, hey, we keep winning, but we can keep giving. Once you get a taste of that, once you get a little taste that you could give to somebody and you get a feeling off that, you want to give more. So I'm not saying be stupid, just give all your money away out there. Don't get me wrong, everybody who's listening. What I'm saying is I heard this when I was real young. I was like,
no way.
You're crazy, man.
I'm not giving my money away.
I'm not giving shit up.
Right.
I work my ass off. I'm going to give it away.
Right.
But once you get that taste, because you got to realize, we create an animalistic culture in our world. We create animalistic culture. That means animalistic ways and have an appetite that's animalistic.
Mm-hmm.
But how do you balance that is you got to make sure they understand giving is important.
Yeah.
Giving back to whatever shapes or forms.
Yeah.
It could giving back necessarily to the community, giving back to necessary friends or family, giving back to charities, giving back that, we do a lot of work with the government, working with, picking up plastic or helping homeless people, whatever it is. You got to have the balance.
Yeah.
But you can't just be givers without winning.
Right.
And you can't just always win without giving.
What a great balance.
There's no way to do it. Some people go, well, God, Michael, you're a little aggressive, or you know what? Maybe you need to relax a little bit.
Yeah.
I hear that all the time, too.
We did a whole episode last week, Mike, on this, and we were talking about that. The very fact that when people hear giving, one, they have your early life mentality of, no, let me hold on tight to what I have.
Yeah.
But B, they think that the giving has to be money.
Yes.
But it's not. You said you're doing charitable work.
Right.
You're mentoring young people. You're taking the time here to talk to us today. This is giving.
Right.
I mean, the amount of
this is huge.
the people would pay tens of thousands of dollars to get this knowledge. You're just sitting here giving it away for free. Mm. And I'm sure you would agree that all this giving continues to come back, which allows you to give more, and it's just a cycle, right?
Correct, and that's all people's personal choices, right?
100%.
It's all personal choices. We can't tell people, we can't tell our team players, we can't tell managers, employees, loved ones to give.
Yeah.
Some people go, well, you could say that because you're successful or you're rich.
Right.
It has nothing to do with that,
Right.
And some of it could sound cheesy to people that were listening. Hey, guys, you always talk about giving. They're talking about, helping. They're talking about culture. Now, don't get me wrong. The very first thing you have to do in this world is win.
Win.
Don't get me wrong. You got to win. Because once you win, everything else comes in line.
Yeah.
You can't say, hey, listen, I want to achieve these goals with this purpose without winning.
Yeah,
I want to help you.
Socialism.
Yeah, it's impossible.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's impossible.
You have to win. Now, win comes with some consequences. Sometimes you have people on your team that you may love.
Yeah.
But guess what? They're not winning.
They're not winning.
You may have people in your family. I got people in my family that don't know how to win. They're losers in my eyes.
Yeah.
That's hard to say. That sounds tough.
Yeah.
But you know what? You got to say, you know what? They're a
You
loser.
separate yourself.
I can't be that. I can't let that mindset or those habits set in.
Yeah.
So that's one thing I truly believe in. I'm not going to preach to people about, hey, give. No, win.
Win.
If you're a young man or woman out
and then you have
there,
the opportunity
win.
to
If
give.
you're an entrepreneur sitting there grinding
it's
every
beautiful.
day, if you're in the fitness business or another business, you're working at counter, you're cleaning the restrooms.
Yes.
Hey, listen, that's part of the habits that you're creating that your team's going to follow when you are necessary growing your company.
Yeah.
Hey, I want to go back just for a second because you said something that really resonated with me. I think that would be incredibly helpful for folks that are listening. Go back for a second. When you and John, after you had that conversation at TGI Fridays that night,
Yeah.
and then you went to your team and said, look, guys, we have a challenge in front of us.
Right.
Because that took, you talk about sales, right? You had to sell that to them.
Correct.
That they had to believe it.
Yep.
What would you say to someone who's in a similar position right now where their company's at a critical stage? They need their folks, they need their team to believe it, to go in there and to say it to them, hey guys, look, right now, this is where we're at, but if you stay with me, you're going to make more money you ever did. You're going to be more successful, but you got to stay with me right now. Two things. How did you have that conviction? Did you know that in your heart that no matter what, you were going to win? And two is, how did you get that to come across, and how did you get them to believe that?
Well, the first thing is very simple, one word: belief.
Yeah.
If you don't believe, you could act all you want, you could tell yourself all you want, you could look in the mirror all you want, but you have to believe.
So you knew it. Walking in that room that day, you knew it.
It's the way your body language, your eye contact, your voice contact, how your shoulders are, how you're dressed, how you take care of yourself. You walk in there, you have to have completely belief.
Do you remember that day when you addressed the team?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It was in our Group X room. I had all the managers in there. It was at our Taichung location. It was 1 p.m. kickoff meeting for all the GMs and AGMs and WGMs, our manager base, and fitness managers. And we're sitting there, and I'm looking at them, and when they walked in, I didn't look at how to convince them. I'm already convinced.
Okay.
Now, what I did have to make sure they understood is I had a plan.
Yes.
I had a roadmap that's going to get us to the next stage. I laid it out. I'm telling them that we're going to open up 2 clubs over the next 12 months, but you know what? We're going to have to make some tough decisions with pay. We're going to have to make some little cutbacks here. But there's one thing I never cut, and here's what everybody needs to know, and you better take a pen out and write this down.
Write it down.
Never cut marketing. Everybody wants to cut marketing when times are tough.
Yeah, that's the first thing, right?
The universal podcast language for a good point is How's that? Marketing. Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Absolutely.
So you're coming in. Now, I just want to be clear on something, too. You're coming in with this plan, this belief, and all this, telling people you're going to open 2 clubs when they just watched almost every club in the country close.
Correct. And we're making tough cuts.
And you're making tough cuts, and you're doing this. And your strategy in this was, we're going to outmarket people. We're going to let people know who World Gym Taiwan is.
And we came up with risk-free memberships. So we were the first one in the country to actually sell EFT memberships, monthly memberships. Yeah. Everybody was selling prepays, and prepays are like a drug. It's easy to sell. It's easy to get. Once you get that prepay, it's like a drug. I want more, then you run out of it sooner or later. Yeah. I was the very first one. So our thing was risk-free memberships.
Wow.
I didn't cut marketing. I didn't cut relationships. I did press conferences. I did every single thing to let everybody know that World Gym's here. We have risk-free memberships. You have nothing to worry about with us. And this is the place to be.
Yeah.
Now, of course that wasn't easy. Now, mind me, I'm doing this in another language too. Don't get me wrong, guys.
Yeah,
nobody speaks English in my company. You got to realize everything's done in Chinese.
Convincing them would be hard enough if it's in your native language.
Correct.
But now you're going over and speaking.
It's in Chinese. And then the second thing is
and you're an American speaking to them. Do they trust you? Right.
A path. You got to have a path for them. We all could talk.
Yeah.
Everybody could talk.
Yeah.
You could be, he's good in sales. Well, he's good in sales, but he doesn't own the company, so he's not that good. You know what I mean? So sales is not necessarily about convincing people. Convincing people, that's easy to do short term. It's kind of like you work out, you get a sweat, and you take a shower, and it all rinses off. You don't have to convince people. What you have to do is have a path and a system that they can use their great habits that we developed with their strong purpose to equal their goals. And then once they see it, they'll run.
Yeah.
But a lot of times is we'll go in, we'll demand what we have to do, but we don't have a path or a purpose for the company to get there. And that was part of the secret sauce, was they had to believe in that path that I laid out.
Right.
They had to believe that necessarily this is going to happen. And then once I put it online and say, hey, we're going to open up 2 clubs in the next 12 months, I had to do it.
Yeah.
And we did it.
You did it.
We did it. It wasn't easy. We found a way to do it. And we had to use very creative ways in how to do this, and pre-sales and imaging. But the fact is that's where we said, you know what? Once we got to that point, the team knew.
Yeah.
They knew. But if I said A, we did A.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean everything works. Don't get me wrong. But the fact is when you go on the line and you're saying, here's what's going to happen, here's our path, you don't deliver, They're not
You
going to
lose
believe.
them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're losing.
Yeah. Their confidence grows as they see that the plan that you've set forth is actually starting to work.
Correct.
It's funny. It's not funny to me that you say never cut marketing because, as I said, we were there this year. We were in Taiwan. Mike and I graciously, you invited us over, and we saw it firsthand. And it reminded me. I'm a huge fan of the movie Greatest Showman about the Barnum Bailey Circus, and I am in no way equating your operation to a circus. But Bailey, right? P.T. Barnum. I'm sorry, P.T. Barnum was a master marketer. That was his thing.
Yes.
Everywhere you looked, he wanted you to see P.T. Barnum, Barnum Circus, all of this unique stuff.
Sure.
And when we were in Taiwan, that's what we saw. Everywhere you went, it was World Gym Taiwan, World Gym Taiwan. Everything we see that you put out, you find a way. Your logos are everywhere. It's just master marketing to bring attention to what it is that you do. And I think that in today's noisy world, everybody talks about marketing, but they can't execute on it properly. What would you say about that? Like, what were your simple tips on how to best market your business? Because there's a lot of noise out. Even in Taiwan, you're the biggest, right?
Yes.
But you're not the only.
No, everybody's there.
Everybody's there.
Anytime.
Yeah, you got all the brands.
You got all the brands are there. Everybody's there. All these different brands are there.
I'm glad you said that. Yep.
You know, but see, marketing starts also too. It goes back to the beginning, right? So my master, when I say I'm going to master it, sales and marketing, right? Because I knew at the end of the day, if a business is going to thrive or fails because it sells and marketing.
Yeah.
So marketing is ever changing every day, right? So the first thing I always tell people is say, okay, people say niches or what's your strength? For me, it's strength. What's your strength in the market? If it's obviously fitness business for me, right? Fitness centers. What's your strength in the market? Is it pricing? You know, people say, well, I get the best service. Well, at the end of the day, I hate to tell everybody who's listening right now, everybody believes they get the best service.
Right. Yeah.
And to be
honest, I have bad service. Come here.
To be honest, it's all bullshit.
Right.
You know, when people see social media, they see marketing, they have to relate to it. If it's a feeling, so it has to be. If it's pricing, what is your one thing that you're great at, but you gotta let the whole world know. So, for instance, everybody takes something, and let's say it's like your new booty coaster.
Yes.
Okay, so obviously I'm launching all the booty coasters in my club.
Yes,
right?
sir.
Thank you.
Yeah, God help me.
Big time. Big launch.
I want a refund. No. I'm kidding.
When you see the booties around Taiwan,
Woo!
changing cultures.
That's right. That's changing lives.
But here's a perfect example of marketing, right? Most people get the machine, they'll put it in. It's a good machine. People use it, but no one tells a story about it.
Right.
So for me, I put a booty coaster in. We're going to put a QR code by it. They can scan the QR code, they understand what the video is, and they could do a feed. Then they can take a selfie with it. The whole point is I can take one booty coaster. I'm going to create a media frenzy that this is shaping booties forever. This is a special piece that connects to the most important body part and the most popular body part right now that everybody's focused on, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
You see a lot of that in the industry today.
For sure.
But necessarily, I'm going to dress it up. That we're going to make a special little zone for it. People go, this takes no money. It's costing me like $100.
Yeah.
But the social media feed's tied to it. The video's tied to it. The QR code that's tied to it. The Facebook booty club's going to be tied to it.
Yeah.
All the stuff I didn't tell you guys about.
Booty club.
Yeah.
Sign Mike
I
up
want
for
to be a
that.
part of that booty club.
Yeah. But Instagram booty club. I mean,
Yeah.
you're talking about just a machine.
Yeah.
But I take that machine, I'm going to use all the tentacles like an octopus.
Yeah.
An octopus, we don't know. The world's so noisy, like you said it perfectly. It's so noisy, but we don't know what works and doesn't work.
Right.
So, okay, we're going to channel our energy on Facebook or Instagram or direct mail. I look at it as an octopus, the crystal that I hold up to the light I said earlier, and all the beams go out, and I'm going to test all of them. Now, mind me, you got to understand that what your market is, and you got to have technology, and you got to watch it, and you got to study it, blah, blah, blah stuff.
Sure.
But to take an example, I'm just going to take one piece of metal with a weight stack,
Correct.
and I'm going to turn it into an event
Yeah.
that necessarily is going to connect to people's feelings,
Yeah.
and it's going to actually connect to their feelings, they connect to their family's feelings, to their friends' feelings, and then it all comes back around to what? World Gym Taiwan.
That's right.
That's right.
And advice, that's all it is.
Yeah.
That's just one small example talking about one of your new pieces, right?
Yeah.
That's how I think about it. Because at the
It's
end of the day,
powerful. It's powerful.
a
It's
piece
so
of equipment is a piece of
powerful.
equipment in the gym.
Correct. As much as, and we're equipment manufacturers.
Yeah.
I've been doing this for 20 years.
Yes.
And as much as I don't want to believe that is true,
Right.
that is 100% true.
Correct.
Right? Because even you look at the ab products that we sell, right?
Yes.
We've been doing ab products for 20 years. Every manufacturer in the world has an ab product, right? We tried to create something unique, something special, and we did that with Ab Coaster and Ab
Correct.
Solo and some of these other products. But at the end of the day, They're just another thing. And if we can create a story around it like you have,
Yes.
I mean, it's just brilliant. And I think people miss that in their business because in everybody's business, I believe they have the one or two things that can really set them apart.
Yes.
Right? But I think I've said this to Mike before. I think sometimes when you're in it, and this is where you rise above in many ways, but this is one. Sometimes when you're in the business, you take the things in your business for granted.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this is what we do. But you're looking at everything as, wow, this is another vehicle to drive me further toward that purpose.
Correct.
Right? And it's powerful.
Because the team, you have an animalistic culture. You have a winning culture.
Yeah.
You got to keep feeding them.
Yeah, feed the
Take
beast.
a tiger, put it in a cage. Don't feed him for a week, and then go into that cage. Doesn't matter how much that tiger respects you.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter how much that tiger. What's that tiger going to do? Probably shred you,
Yeah.
or it's going to die. One or the other. It's going to die or shred you.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing with your team, your coworkers, your employees, whatever you call them. I always call them team players. Whatever you call them, if you create that, you got to feed them. So it's something as simple as, hey, you know what? We got this new cool piece that no one else has.
That's right.
Hey, it's the booty coaster.
Yeah.
Hey, I got this new cool piece over here. I got this new marketing idea. I got this new technology. So I'm the sucker that everybody knows in the industry. I'm the sucker. Like anything new, technology, equipment, call me.
Right.
Let me know. I want to be the first.
You'll take a look.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah.
I'll look. I want to be the first.
Yeah.
You do.
I don't want to be second.
Right.
I want to be number one. Why? Because I have to find it because I have to win. If I could find a small win, if I could find that first before someone else does, and my team sees it, I could tell my team that.
Yeah.
Guess what? They have more belief.
Yeah.
Like I said in my pre-sales, right? I tweaked some of my pre-sales. They believed in it so much, production went up 20 to 30%.
Right.
We're talking about huge numbers.
That's crazy numbers.
Because the fact is if you look at anything in your business, you can never stop looking forward. We spend so much time in our life looking backwards, or our mistakes, or our regrets.
Yeah.
People go, Mike, you have any regrets? I have none.
Yeah.
I've done some stupid shit in this world. I made some dumb mistakes, but I don't regret it.
Yeah.
Why? Because I don't have time to look forward.
Yeah.
And that's the product of life. That's the thing about marketing. You got to look forward in your business. You got to look the way to necessarily take something very simple, make it special. If it's a piece of equipment, or if it's your studio, or if it's your coffee shop. Everybody has coffee shops. But what makes your coffee shop special? We have great service. No one cares.
Right.
I got a special bean that comes from another country. Maybe.
Yeah.
Why is that bean special? I want to see it. I want a story about it. I want an Instagram about it. I want to see it on Facebook. I want to know why this bean's special. I want to touch it.
Yeah.
So that's the part about marketing that people don't understand. Especially in the fitness business, they're so closed-minded. I call it the tunnel vision. They don't have the spectrum vision like the Crystal always talk about. Marketing is a spectrum vision. Even though marketing they're talking about 80% online, everything is Instagram and Facebook. But you know what? We hand out probably 1.2 million flyers on the street every single month.
Wow, still.
People go, well, why? Because the fact is if I touch enough heartbeats, in my business, everybody's a heartbeat. If you have a heartbeat, you're my customer.
Right.
I just got to touch you. I got to touch you. It's not pretty.
No.
It's not pretty handing out flyers.
But
It's
they're
not
there.
pretty putting out stuff, but you just do it every day. Like I say, consistently.
Yeah.
What do we create? Habits. What's our purpose? Getting our name out there. Ultimately, we become number one.
Yeah.
We're not number one because of me. Don't get me wrong.
No.
Yeah, I'm the leader of the ship, but the reason why necessarily we have the number one mentality is because the team wins.
Right.
People make real money.
Again, what's so amazing with you is that here you are, 92 health clubs in Taiwan, and now you have a new machine like you alluded to with the booty coaster. You're bringing new stuff. You're going to market behind it. But you're always, like I see at URSA, one of the biggest trade show in North America, you're always looking. You're always looking to improve. You're always looking to bring new things in. And sometimes when I talk to folks here in the U.S. even, right, and they have a level of success, they're like, no, we're good because we've been doing it this way. We're going to stick to that formula.
Right.
They're not even looking what's beyond, right? They're like, no, this is good. This is what's working for us right now. We're good right here. But we know what's going to happen to them eventually, right?
Correct.
Where with you, you're constantly growing. You're constantly pushing the envelope. You're constantly looking. What's new? What else can I bring? How can I feed my team, as you said?
Well, because there's that one little company called Kodak, right?
Yeah,
Anybody
there you go.
understood
Remember
Kodak?
them? Yeah.
The richest company in the world at one time. They actually had the digital camera.
They invented digital photography.
What happened was
Yep.
a few big egos at the top said, you know what, we don't need this because it's going to kill our film business.
Yep.
Where's Kodak today? So, when you
That's
study,
a good
like I
point.
said, if you want to be the master of something, you want to be a master at your craft, you got to be necessarily always able to keep learning from other people who they were masters in their craft. What are the mistakes? I always say everything has clues and footprints, right?
Yes.
There's people a lot smarter than me that I got to know over the years. They're better at this or better at that. So all I did is to spend a little time. I watched their footprints, I watched their clues, and then necessarily I copied it and I made it my own. And then I add my little sizzle on it, or I put my little touch on it. Because the fact is there's people who spent 20, 30 years doing this stuff. And we could learn it in a week.
Sure.
We could find their paths. We could find their clues.
Yep.
Even something that's completely negative. That's why I'm never a negative dude. You never hear a negative bone in my body because at the end of the day it doesn't matter.
Right.
So you can always find clues. So exactly what you're saying, especially in the fitness business.
Yeah.
People are so closed-minded. Well, I got 500 machines in my club. Why do I need another one? It's not for me. At the end of the day I could just use free weights, some dumbbells, a squat rack,
Sure.
and I'm happy.
That's
Right.
right. That's
I'm going
right.
to train like a beast.
No doubt.
But it's not about me.
Yeah.
So the fact is, everything new I find, or anything new I bring in, or new technology, or new systems, and I'm a big education guy. We
Huge.
spend millions of US dollars a year, millions, I mean, on education. Why? Because the fact is if I keep giving to them, if I keep feeding the animals, I keep giving them a new product, or I keep giving them new systems, they'll eat it and they'll be fulfilled, and they can keep the energy level up, so they can keep running. They
It
can
goes
keep
back
being
to your
that
habits,
Keep
right?
going.
Energy
Keep
level
going.
up and self-learning. You're providing
Energy,
that
man.
path
Correct.
to that. So another thing about you, Michael, that's interesting is you're kind of a big guy. I mean, not when you sit next to me, but in general, you're a big dude, right?
That's
so you have
true.
a presence about you,
Yeah, he
right?
does.
But you're also impeccably dressed all the time, right? When you
Oh,
walk
man.
through Ursa, you're never walking around with any big entourage or anything like that. But always a beautiful suit on, very well put together. Is that part of your brand, or is that just something that's important to you? Because, as you said, you are
Glad you
not,
brought that up.
you have your team, right? And you always give all credit to success to your team.
Correct.
Which is what a great leader should do. But it's undeniable that you, as the leader of that team, have a big part in it. So tell us about that. What part of this look, this branding about it is it just you, or is it part of this whole image of the team?
Yeah, there's 2 steps to that. It's funny you said that. There's 2 steps. One step was when I was a young cat and had no money, had no nothing. One thing my mom always did say to me is, act as if.
Yeah.
Act as if that you're the president. Act as if you're the CEO. Act as if necessarily you're the owner of this company. And I did that when I was a salesperson. I was a GM of the club. People thought I used to own it. So what I realized in the fitness business, there was no professionalism. A lot of it. Very smart people in the business. Some incredibly successful stories. But there's only a few individuals I knew over the years, and even to this day, that have ultimately, but they always have a certain presence about them.
Yeah.
The fitness business, a lot of times, is people think about gyms, T-shirts, or personal trainers, but it's a business, and I truly believe in necessarily you got to dress what you expect, what you are. I tell people all the time, if you can't dress the part what you're supposed to be, you're never going to be that part. Mom and dad always tell us,
that's the
mom
truth.
said, hey, who you hang out with is what you become. You're like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
But as we get older, we go, oh, yeah, I guess that shit's true.
Yeah, it is.
So I've always, even when I was broke, I could always necessarily dress. Because if you can't present yourself in the way, if I can't think that I'm going to own this club one day, and that's what I used to think. I was a salesperson. I said, I'm going to own this club one day. I'm going to own a club. GM, I'm going to own it. That's my mindset. But you have to dress that part too, right? You got to feel that part.
Yeah.
I work out, take care of myself. Of course I want to keep muscle. Of course I want to look good. But if you can't have a presence about yourself that you're proud of, or a presence that other people go, you know what? I want to know more about that person.
Yeah.
Or I want to get to know that person. Or why do they do this?
Yeah.
The point to me was, if you can't dress the part, look the part, you're never going to be the part.
Yeah. That's awesome.
It's not about
It's
ego.
all part of your
Stands
success
out.
formula.
Yeah, it's all
Yeah.
part of that process. I
Yeah.
created habits at a young age
Yeah.
that you dress a certain way, you act a certain way, you be a certain way, or you can never be it.
Right.
How do you do it? How do you mentally take yourself and say, hey, I'm going to be X, but I'm going to dress like a slob. I'm going to be lazy.
Yeah.
I'm not going to take care of my body.
Yeah.
I'm not going to embrace
Yeah.
what a leader should be, what a CEO should be, what a VP should be. Whatever it is, you got to be that product.
Yeah.
And we forget that. So what does my team do now? It's a funny story. My VP of fitness, Eagle, monster. Started with me. He was just a trainer. He was a fitness manager. So our first awards party, He came up, got the fitness manager of the year, wearing sweats.
Oh boy.
Wearing sweats.
Yeah.
Now he's an animal. He was a beast.
Right.
Okay. Second time he wins it, second year in a row. He's wearing sweats with like a collared shirt.
He's getting better.
I go, this is very interesting, right?
You didn't say anything to him.
No, I didn't say nothing because once you say it, you have to lead it, right? And everybody saw how I dressed, how I talked, how I moved, my energy level, taking care of myself. I wasn't your typical owner who just was sloppy, who didn't care about working out, who just cared about money. I'd be blaming the product.
Mm-hmm.
And then the third year, all of a sudden,
100%.
now he's dressed in like some silver suit.
Yeah.
And then when he got promoted to a VP, right, all of a sudden his whole demeanor changed. Now he's like the prince now. I mean, he's dressed to the T. But also too, all the regional managers, VPs, everybody down the line now, including my partner John. He never dressed in suits all the time.
Yeah.
He's a wear sweater and a collared shirt. I'm not going to tell him how to dress, right?
Yeah.
But I believe if you have that presence, as you said, if you create those habits, habits are filtered down. I can tell people to do it, but I know it's not the habit making them do it.
Right.
It's me telling you to do it.
Yeah.
It's me telling you, hey, you should be like this.
Yeah.
So unless if it's affecting the bottom line, we got to talk about it.
Right.
But if I'm talking about just creating a culture on how we act, now I get the best dressed looking team in the world.
I think it's a great thing that you're
love
saying
that.
there, because you could have told Eagle that first day, look, you don't come on this stage to accept this award wearing those pants, but you didn't.
No.
But he evolved. We met Eagle this year.
course,
You saw it, man. It looked like $1 Million Man
100%.
standing there. Everybody, that was like a fashion show when we were at your party.
Right.
But it was interesting to me because when we would walk in any one of your clubs, and here you were in your beautiful suit and your presence, and we're walking through clubs, and the people came to attention when you came, not militaristically, but just, okay, Michael's here. And I was watching that, and I was thinking, wow, what is it about him? What is it about his presence walking in? Are they scared? Right? Are they fearful that he's going to see something and lose their job? But then 2 days later, we were at the party.
Yeah.
And I watched people stand in line for over 2 hours to take a photo with you.
Right.
Employees to take a photo with their boss, right?
Yeah.
And that's when I saw it. It was respect, it was admiration, it was all the things that you went through since 2009 that brought all those people to a total different place in their life. And it was just a fascinating culmination of the entire story to me to see that. And thank you for being there. I'll share one quick fashion story with you because I am not a fashionista. I try to kind of dress the gym lifestyle, right? But at Ursa this year,
although his wife is trying to help him do
that's true.
I knew we were going to see you there this year. And so the first day, I put on my best stuff. I got my nice Abs Company shirt, had some nice pants, new shoes on. I walked in.
We made fun of you.
No. First thing, I see, Michael, I'm feeling pretty good about myself. You remember the first thing you said to me? You said, where's your belt? You come in just like that with a belt. God damn, I thought I had this right. But it's that attention to detail.
Steps.
It's that presence. It's that
Steps.
professionalism.
Steps.
It just goes back to your mindset of that the details matter, that habits matter, that all builds to the things that are going to create success. I never forgot that. I don't dress now with that. I think, where's my belt, right? I get nervous. I'm not even going to see you. We're in a different continent. I'm like, he's looking somewhere. He's going to see my belt.
Don't worry. I'll text you. Sean forgot his belt again.
But it's those little things that add up to that culture of winning and that ultimate success.
Because details people don't like.
That's right.
Details suck.
Yeah.
I always tell everybody, who wants to dig into, like, for instance, if you have an employee or a team player and they're having issues or problems or they're slow, or I got managers, that I spend hours with. It was 2 weeks ago, I spent 3 hours just digging with one of my best GMs I had, digging the details and digging and digging. Come to find out, her struggle was that she broke up with her boyfriend.
Holy cow.
Well, why does that matter to you, Michael? I should just tell her, hey, you do your job, be your goal.
No matter what.
13,000 deep, and you're worried about it.
Yeah, because she's been with me for 11 and a half years.
Yeah.
She's been a soldier, and she's worked hard for me. And I truly, truly care. Regardless, the one thing we never talked about yet that you have to make sure you set in your culture is expectation. You got to set an expectation of what you truly believe in. That thing can't go up and down. Your expectation is set. Once you set the expectation, you can't raise it or lower it. Yeah. You got to keep it.
Don't move that.
You can improve it. But what happens is leaders don't set the expectation. So that's one thing, I want to make sure we chime in there. So I have high expectations, but I care enough to keep digging. And trust me, when I was spending almost 3 hours with Ruby, I'm sitting with Ruby, 3 hours. And Finally, she broke and she started tearing up and crying to me and talking to me. And then necessarily we went through a little bit, just talk about life in general, you know. I've gone through some tough times in my life. We all have. And I could pass it on. We sat there.
Wow.
And then all of a sudden she came back the next month and hit goal, right? So sometimes you got to realize the details not just in the systems, or it's not just in money or the proper business or marketing. Sometimes it's just deep details with people. You just got to take the details with people. Sometimes you just got to dig a little bit.
It's caring.
It sucks. Sometimes it's hard. Sometimes we don't have time in life. You just got to dig a little bit. So if I tell everybody, hey, listen, you got somebody who is loyal to you, who works hard for you, they make a transition of positive or it's going negative, you just got to dig a little bit. Don't just ask them a question, hey, how you doing? I'm doing good, Sean. I'm just having a tough day. I'll be okay. You got to dig a little bit more because sometimes us as leaders or managers or owners, we say, oh, it's not our business. If you're in my world, it's my business because that's how much I care.
Yeah.
So that's one thing that we got to realize. Details do play a role in that.
They matter. And I love that, setting those expectations and not changing them. So I think that's an easy trap to fall into. We set that standard, we set that expectation, people aren't meeting it, and we lower it. Right.
Or they meet it,
and you
raise it.
Yeah.
And then the next person goes, my world, right? We have a great pre-sale, right? A great club, record-breaking club.
Yeah.
Then I'll say, hey, you know what? I set the new expectation. I don't.
Right.
You set records, you set the expectation, and then the next person behind you does what? That's the expectation.
Yeah.
Sure.
My expectation is here already.
Right.
We set that. I'm okay with this.
Right.
But what happens is the culture, your company, your people will push the expectation to the next step, to the next step, to the next step.
Yeah.
That's part of the secret. Like setting sales goals. You set a sales goal that, you know what? Here's what we have to have. This is what we live and die with. But what happens is, let's say they crush the sales goal.
Yeah.
And as a leader, maybe, I'm going to set this level. But you were okay with this level.
Right.
Now you set at this level. What I do is I let my team kind of set the next level. And then the team sets the next level. That's why rewarding the small wins, as you guys know, my awards part, we give away 722 awards.
Right. We won one.
Yeah.
International Equipment Vendors
Yes,
right here.
yes.
Abs company.
That actually is
Yes.
true.
That sells ab stuff.
Yeah.
Wow,
On
that's right.
Tuesdays.
722 awards.
It's crazy. It was cars. It was money. You guys came in shooting money out of a cannon.
Right. And people go, oh my God, that looks a lot of fun. You're crazy. But what you asked me earlier, what about marketing? And you looked at, we had, I think, 8,000 people there.
Yep.
Out of those 8,000 people, what were everybody doing? They all had their phone up.
They did.
What were they doing with their phone?
They're tagging.
Videos, pictures,
Proud to be
live Facebook. Then on top of that, what we do is we actually run contests. So people who are doing live Facebook feeds, and they're doing it, and whoever gets the most likes and who gets the most views, I'm rewarding them during the rewards party that no one even knows.
Yeah.
They get rewarded. So everything has a winning mentality. But marketing was a perfect point, is when we're coming in shooting cannons, cash out of cannons, right? The big gorilla.
Yeah.
They all had their phones up.
Absolutely.
That's right.
So people think, God, Mike, you're just wild and crazy throwing money out. But between all of us here, and I'm giving away a piece of my secret, it's all marketing.
I was in China last week, and another vendor that deals with you was there, and your name came up, and we were talking. He actually said that to me. He goes, I heard he has these parties at the end of the year where he actually shoots money out of a cannon. I said, oh, yeah, that's absolutely true. I saw it firsthand. But again, it's marketing. Here we are, just having a mutual connection talking, and that story's out there. It's another touch. It's being everywhere, and it just speaks to everything that you've created. Let me ask you this before we wrap this up. You've been extremely generous with your time and your knowledge. Can't thank you. I've learned so much sitting here. I know I'll listen to this several times. But
it's gold.
Do one more thing for me, if you would. Define success.
Winning.
That's in a word.
Winning.
That's it.
Because winning in life, winning could be personal. Winning could be your personal religion. Winning could be in family. Winning could be with your team. Winning could be with your children. Winning could be with mom and dad. Winning could be with your son sitting next to us. Because if he wins, you win. You win, he wins.
Right. I love it.
If you know how to win, he knows that. He's going to learn those habits to win. Now, don't get me wrong. There's details to that. But to keep things simple, if we can teach ourselves and teach our kids and young men and women how to win in this world, they're always going to be okay. There's winning and losing. Don't get me wrong. People say, "Well, losing, you learn from it." Losing sucks.
Yeah,
it does.
We have a thing in our company. Competition's good. It keeps you on your toes. No, competition sucks. Because you know why? Because the fact is, I got to work harder to win.
Right.
People go, well, competition keeps you on your toes. If you guys say that in your business or anybody listen, say, well, competition is good. You have a gym down the road. Competition is going to tighten us up. If you're not already tight, you're already lost.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, of course we have competition coming everywhere. You know what? I don't worry about that because we're winning. Now, I pay attention.
Yeah.
I got my heartbeat. I know what's going on. I know all their promotions.
Right.
I know their advertisement. I just had a conversation with you guys yesterday.
Absolutely.
I know what my competition is doing, what they're giving away. Don't get me wrong. There's strategy in winning. But if you just keep it simple, success is just winning in every part of your life. And I know people go, well, it's easier for you to say. No, it's not.
Yeah.
Just win.
Yeah.
Everything else will come back.
Listen, it's easy for anybody to look at somebody like you, John, World Gym Taiwan, and as I like to say, to see the after.
Right.
Yeah,
You know, what you've given us today is a glimpse of
Amazing.
the before, of where it came from, but also I think what you've laid out is a playbook. And it's a playbook that anybody who's aspiring to win or to be successful can follow, and they can get there too. And I can't thank you enough for this. I think it's incredible knowledge, incredible insights, extremely giving, and that's a part of who you are. And I think sometimes when people see someone like you, the way that you dress, the way that you carry yourself, it can be misunderstood that he's not that guy.
Right.
And he's about himself. He cares about this. He wants to be the big shot. But I can tell you, having known you now for many years and spent time with you, nothing could be further from the truth. One of the most generous, giving people I've ever
100%.
met. And you see it here today. A lot of people would keep this information close to the vest, not share it, because they fear that if they put it out there that somebody else would come along. And you want people to win. That's what you're about. Winning is success isn't just about you winning.
Right.
It's about everybody winning. And that's a very rare trait in today's world and in a human being in general. And I'm glad to say that we're friends, that you have this
100%.
success, and I can see that you live that purpose. I hear you talk all the time about your family, about your mother, and you go back to the start, where this all started, 14 years old.
Crazy.
Right.
You define that purpose, that I want a better life for my mother and for my family. I know you've given them that. I'm sure everybody's extremely proud, and we're proud to call you a friend. So thank you very much for
100%.
today.
Yeah, thank you.
Shit, I took 4 pages of notes myself today.
I didn't know you knew how to write.
I got this new pen.
Oh, yeah.
Use it.
Thanks to Michael Sanciprian. Yeah, man. I mean, I just want to say, too, the thing that struck me, many, many things about you, but there'll be folks that'll come up to you at a trade show when we're out that are just getting started, or maybe they have one gym, right? And you're always so humble, and you talk to them like on an equal basis. You never talk down to people. You're always very free to give information to help them if they want it. You never turn anyone away who really comes to you and asks you for help. And that's what I saw one time. Like, people sometimes are intimidated by that. Oh, I'm not going to go up to him because he has, 90 some clubs. But from the very beginning, man, when I met you, you would talk to the guy who owns a little studio versus a guy that owns, numerous clubs. So I always respected that, man. And that showed me a lot about you.
We're all equal, right?
Yeah.
You know, and I know it sounds cheesy, but we're all people. We're all the same people. Will you put your pants on one leg at a time? I don't know. Maybe you put on with two legs at a
Maybe
time.
you jump in. Yeah,
who knows? But at the end of the day, is people are people,
Yeah.
And you can never, ever, ever get irritated or mad as someone wants to learn more or ask a question. If God gave me the ability to do what I do, and I love what I do, and I'm able to give back to people because that's my purpose, and if I'm able to do that, I'm thanking them. Because the fact is know how much courage it takes to get in the business, how much courage it takes starting a company, or how much courage it takes to basically take a company and buy your partner out like you did, and put that debt and put all the stress on you. And, you're starting a new family too, and you have kids and all this stuff. You leaving the job after basically full retirement.
Yeah.
How could you not appreciate that from people? How do you not appreciate someone starting that studio? So my mindset always is, one club or 100 clubs.
Yeah.
Because there's operators, there's a personal friend of mine who owns 400 plus clubs.
Yes.
I sent him a text message the other day because I needed some help on something. He texted me back in 30 seconds and helped me.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was one operator, one of the most successful operators in the entire world. I sent him a text message.
Yeah.
I'm the little fish compared to him.
Right.
But guess what? It comes back full circle.
100%.
So I'm the guy who's still striving to learn, still needs help, still asking questions, and vice versa, right? So the ladder never stops. The ladder only stops when the ladder falls.
We talk about that a lot, right? Hungry, humble, smart.
Yep.
No matter where you are. Key. Boom.
Great stuff,
That's big
guys.
things right there.
Listen, can't thank you enough. Appreciate everybody being with us.
Thank you,
Remember,
Michael.
until next time, guys, the core of success is you.
Big things!